igama Siyabulela, surname is Mandla, so people always get it confused. I've always been passionate about business, really, and I think ukhulele kasi, and as a professional, because I used to work as an engineer, so I kind of felt the need to make a contribution where I come from, which is predominantly here in Madawa. So I started the business for social reasons, creating jobs for young people, because we had a problem. In Lokshini, there's always these young boys looming around, drugs and all sorts of things. So what was obvious is that if you go around the cars, you always see young guys doing car wash, bucket systems and all of that. We're very passionate about the township economy, so most of our businesses are in the township. So we're currently in Motherwell, we've got presence in New Brighton as well.
When the smoke comes out, you close it like this?
We started 2010, really, when there was this whole hype about the World Cup and all of that. So we saw an opportunity that with the number of infrastructure that the government had at the time that were idling, so we identified, for instance, this place, which is the car wash. That's where we're at now, 469 car wash. So really that's how we started. So we started as a car wash, and but we've obviously since then grown to other business units. We are in the entertainment space. We own a bar, Sanyama, which is quite predominant. We do a bit of transport. We are also interested in the properties as well. So we thought, look, maybe if we can formalize it, it could really create job opportunities for these guys who do not necessarily have to have a skill. As long as you can wash a car, a customer is happy. So that was the starting point, really. And from there, we kind of try to formalize it and grow from that side. When we started, obviously I did put up capital, but one of the things that was fascinating when we started this concept was that we said we're going to raise capital, but the way we're going to raise capital, we're going to look at competitions. So we entered for an SAP Kickstart 2012. To our surprise, we won that competition. So we got our first injection from SAP Kickstart. And secondly, the same year, so we entered for a Seda, a small business competition, which we also won. So that's basically where we got predominantly most of our capital to start the business. Part of the investment that we received came from Seda through the small business competition that they had in 2012. And I think currently now we are still in their database through the Gazelle program. So we're among the 4 people in the Eastern Cape that have actually been selected for the prestigious, they call it the prestigious program, which is the Gazelle. They do branding, vouchers when they give you some voucher to do branding. I think, as I said, the initial capital we got it, although it was more of a competition, but it was via Seda. So they've done, part of the administration to formalize our business. They've done some financial cleanup where they will get accountants to be involved so that we could have a financial position. Because again, it's a barrier that I was talking to you about, that you want capital, and if you have to go to financial institution, if your financial management capability is not there, the bank won't look at it, So I think what Seda has done is also to give us capacity, administrative capacity, to position the business. So now we are able to even go to the bank and ask for an overdraft because we've got a proper financial system implemented in place. So that's what I call internal capacity. It's not just about the external issues of branding, and any of those things that they do provide, but even growing with the business. I mean, they've grown with us till this point in time. Remember, small business employs the majority of people in any developed or developing country. So we create jobs, we grow enterprises in the township because we want to move away from the perception that townships are predominantly informal markets. As a small emerging entrepreneur, you do need to use as much leverage as possible. And Seda is, I think it's a first place that you actually need to go and knock, because they don't only talk of financial assistance, but just to guide you to the right channels, where to go, who to talk to. So they've got the network, they know these governmental institutions as well. The business is about value creation. It's not just about you in pursuit of capital, you know, making money. It's about you start something, we create brands, we create enterprises that employ people, you know, and these are legacy issues, you know, that 20 years from now we want to see these enterprises running. You know, so I think that's my passion. I'm passionate about brand. You know, we've got a brand called 469. We've introduced another brand called Pata Pata Lifestyle. So that's basically the whole motivation.